my seniors, if you're going to graduate in May, please come to the front. Like, if you get a job offer that is $65,000, you won. That is an achievement. That is something that you should be proud of. Do not decline that job offer because you will look very foolish. And I want you to know that you can do a lot. You can live your life off $65,000 in your first year out of college, okay? The nice high rise with the floor to ceiling windows, you're not getting that. I'm gonna be very frank with you. That's not the apartment you go look for. You go look for an apartment that's maybe 20, 30 minutes outside of the city. It ain't gonna be that far. But go with something that's in your range, okay? This lifestyle you wanna live, it's not happening right now. If you get blessed with a job that's 80K, sure, you did your big one. You've over exceeded. But if you get a job that's $65,000, don't be a fool and decline it. That is just the craziest things to me. Bitch, I had to come pull my sleeves up because no way am I reading that people are declining offers. Like, huh? My first job out of college, I was making, my first real job out of college, I was making like $42,000. Got a job in DC. From Chicago. I'm going to always say that in my little story times. But I had to find an apartment. And I found one apartment for $1,400. And I asked my grandma, I'm like, hey, this is crazy. Like, I can't afford this. She said, stop being cheap. Sign an offer. Like, $1,400, go ahead and do that. So I did it. I had the best time of my life. That was the most fun I've had in my 20s was when I was in DC making $42,000. And I didn't miss a happy hour. I didn't miss a brunch. Like, don't know how I did that, but also times were different. Inflation was a different level. I'm not saying do that. But for the roof over your head and the basic necessities you need, you can do a lot with $65,000. Like, I slept on a blow-up mattress. Actually, this is trauma, baby. I shouldn't even be talking about it like this. But I slept on a blow-up mattress for maybe a month before I got real furniture in that apartment. I was just so happy to have my own space. Like, I was just really proud and just damn, I did this. First person in my family to graduate college, to leave the city, I've done it. And so to look, 6, 7 years later, it has only been an elevation from there. But all this to say, don't think you failed or that you're not, on the right path if you get a job offer for $65,000 because the average college grad is not getting that. They are graduating college with no job. They are, working in retail, working in fast food, just trying to make their ends meet until they get their big opportunity. So be grateful. Don't be, shoot for the stars, because I was shooting for the stars. I'm not going to act like I wasn't, but my mentor made it very clear to me. He was like, you have nothing to bargain. I thought I was here. And my mentor, he brought me down and was like, all you have is internships on your resume. You have no base salary that you're working from. So you need to get a job so you can start from somewhere and then you continue to climb. So accept that job. Okay, please. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's get into the video.
If you get a job offer that is $65,000, you won. That is an achievement. Do not decline that job offer.
Auntie might be a little bit out of the loop, but the girls are turning down $65,000 straight out of college? I'm confused about that. I graduated college with 0 offers. 0, nothing. And I remember feeling so envious and so jealous of some of my colleagues who were going off to Oracle and these big name companies, and they had 6-figure offers straight out of college, and I had nothing. So I had to go work at a warehouse. And I can't believe the girls would even think about turning down $65,000. A year later, I did get a job, my first corporate job at Family Dollar, and I was making $39,000. Fast forward 3 years, I tripled that income. So you gotta start somewhere. Start at the bottom if you have to. I must say that I was willing to sacrifice. I got a 1-bedroom apartment. I would have gotten a studio if they had one available. My son Miles slept in the bedroom and I had my bedroom set up as if it was a studio in the living room. Make that 65K, that 40K, that 50K work and work your way up.
Get unready with me while I share how I managed to get a job offer 3 weeks after quitting my job in this horrible, horrible job market. I begged. In so many words, I begged. I had been applying to jobs relentlessly for months. I think I started back in April. and nothing was working. Like, I had redone my resume multiple times, had it looked at professionally, redid my portfolio, built a website, bought my domain, like, did the whole nine, and was barely even getting interviews. And not to toot my own horn, but I had a pretty impressive resume for a recent college grad. I would like to think I had a pretty impressive portfolio. I had done the internships. I'd worked for the big companies. Like, I really thought that I was going to be set out for college, but I wasn't. And finding a job was very, 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 very hard. So October comes around. I decide, it's just time to take that leap of faith and hope and pray that there's something better for me looming around the corner. So I ended up quitting, and I found a job posting from a company that I'd been wanting to work with for a while. They had offered me an interview back in September, but refused to proceed further because I wasn't based in New York. So I was like, well, shucks. Anywho, I see another job posting from them, and it's something that's like right up my alley. And I messaged the hiring manager directly on LinkedIn, basically begging. Like, in so many words, I was like, listen, I am the perfect person for this role. I know I'm the perfect person for this role. Please, please give me an opportunity to prove it to you. I saw that there were about 400, 500 applicants for the role, so I fully was not expecting a response, but she ended up responding at around 6 o'clock the next morning and told me that my interview would be 5 hours later. Fast forward, they invite me to an on-site interview. I end up getting the job, yada, yada, yada. I say all that to say I spent months going the traditional route. Nothing worked in my favor. Go the untraditional route. Do something unconventional, and it might work in your favor. Jump scare. But if you're wondering what industry I'm in marketing. So I'm well aware of all the pyramid schemes, fake job postings, all of that on LinkedIn. I get it. Been there, done that, seen it, applied, fake interviewed, literally did the whole nine. So I get it. From one marketing girly to the next, it is hard out here, and I wish everybody the best of luck in their search.
So, it is Monday. It is January 31st, and it dawned on me that I had told myself that I was going to have a new job by January 31st. And I've still not heard from this company that I was interviewing with, made it to the final round, did a whole presentation, still haven't heard from them. And I'm realizing today has the potential to either be a magical day, because it would be a miracle that I was able to pull this off in exactly the time frame that I spoke, right? Or it's going to be the beginning of me starting this whole thing over from scratch and trying to figure out ways to make it through without experiencing any further burnout. I feel like shit. If I'm being very honest, it's becoming very difficult to stay optimistic, and I am concerned that we're not going to get the news that we want today. But even if it isn't, even if we don't, again, I'm doing my very best. Obviously, I'm not perfect. It's a work in progress, but I'm doing my very best to make it not mean anything more than simply that this just wasn't it. This just wasn't it. So hopefully we get some good news today, and hopefully we'll be able to celebrate. And if not, well, we can all cry on the live later together. Yeah.
If you're seeing this, I don't work here anymore, and I'm tired. I got a job offer. I negotiated for a salary boost, and I get a sign-on bonus. I'm very proud of myself. Closer than I've ever been before. Today is like my third day of work, and it's going good.
Take that 65K offer. Take it. My first post-grad job, I was working at TikTok, and I was offered 50K. And that's freaking TikTok. If I had 65K, if that was my offer, oh my gosh, I would have felt rich. And for me, this particular role, I had to relocate from New York City to Chicago with a 50K salary. And I still made it work. I live in a 1-bedroom. I love my 1-bedroom. It may not be a high rise, but it is a gorgeous apartment. I had a great social life. I was out almost every other weekend, but not too much. But I was out. Like, I feel like when you have a salary like that, like, you can still make it work. Like, if I was making 65K post-grad, girl. there's also a lot of nuance to this conversation because, one, I understand some people have different responsibilities. You might be taking care of your family, or you might be like super like good with your finances and you're already paying off your student loans. There's a lot of nuance to it. But it's also important to remember the type of industry that you're going to. If you are not working in a technical role, it is very, very hard to find a new grad job that is paying you more than $50K. Like, I feel like for those in the technical roles, they're usually making like 90, 100K. But if you're in a creative route like me, I was doing advertising at TikTok, it's kind of cheap. And I share a lot of early career content, so I'm looking at a lot of different like opportunities, and there are some roles, some companies still have the nerve to be paying folks 30, 40K. But I think for those who are like in the creative side, marketing, advertising, comms, PR, even some health stuff, like I've seen some health stuff with really low stuff, it is really hard to be making a lot of money. So I feel like 65K is a new grad, especially if you don't have many responsibilities, single, child-free, man-free. You can make it work. You can definitely make it work. Like if I was making 65K out of college, girl, I would have felt rich. Even with my little 50K, I was feeling a little rich. And you got to remember too, as you're leveling up in your career and you're going up, you're going to be making more. Like my first post-grad job, I was making 50K. But my second job, I was making 90K. And now I know with my next job, I'm going to be in that 100s, in that six figures. So if I was a recent grad, I'm taking that 65K, especially in this job market.
Wait, you reject 60K in this economy? Are you crazy? $60,000 in this economy. And you think you're too good for the job? That is crazy to me. Man, you better take that job. Are you insane? 65K as a young adult right now? Bruh, you have no idea. 65K is more than enough. You can obviously survive off of that. And if you are smart, you can actually thrive off of that if you are smart. But if you're not smart, it's game over anyway. But come on, if you are starting out, it is more than enough.
Okay guys, really quick before I go into this interview, this is my third and final round interview with, I'll let you know guys know if I get the job, or if I don't get the job, I'll let y'all know who's with. But I do believe I'm going to get the job, so y'all might not never know. But third and final round interview. How do I look? I got on the same blazer from yesterday because, you know, it brings out the colors in my eyes. I just got a different top on today. And yeah, so this interview, their focus is SOX, SOX compliance. And so even though I'm familiar with compliance, I'm not necessarily familiar with SOX. So I have been spending the last 2 hours just getting some more information and reviewing that. I feel good enough to speak to it. So I will keep you guys updated, and I will record this interview.
Listen, before you sign that job offer, can you please make sure you're asking these questions? Because I had to learn the very hard way. If the job offer you're going to sign has a really intense non-compete, that could mean you can't work at one of their identified competitors for up to 2 years. If you work in a niche industry, girl, that means you're unemployed. I would take a look at their benefits plans. Sometimes they make you wait your entire probationary period to get benefits, which means you could be going up to 90 days with no dental and no medical. God forbid something happened, it's just not worth it. Check for very specific language on return to work. Do they include things like, we could call you back into the office at any time and you'll have to comply or you'll be terminated? That's scary. If you work in sales, make sure you are reading in very fine print what the commission structure is, and then follow up and ask how many people actually hit their targets.
I got laid off in April. It's been 4 months, over 1,300 job applications, over 100 interviews, and I finally signed an offer. My goal with this next job was to get a salary increase, stay remote, get more PTO, and go up in a title increase. I had pretty lofty goals for myself, and I was really worried that I might not reach them when it started to get month 4 of unemployment. However, I stayed positive and kept working hard, and I landed the exact job that I wanted. Salary increase, PTO increase, in an industry I'm passionate about, fully remote. Don't listen to people if they tell you goals like that for a job are way too lofty or don't exist, or you should just go back into the office. Like, I had so many naysayers. But I knew that these types of jobs existed and that it was possible for me to get one, and I was right.
And I am so excited and proud of myself and grateful to everybody else who supported me throughout this process.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
I had a hiring manager ask me to pull a job offer from a candidate today. Let's talk about it. Not every recruiter operates the same way that I do, but I personally talk about compensation very early and very often in the entire recruiting process. You will find the salary ranges in every single job description for every single company that I work with. Additionally, when I pre-screen a candidate, I talk about salary range again and make sure that it is a compensation range that they're comfortable with. And before I set up a final round interview, I have another conversation with the candidate about the salary range for the role. All in all, I've talked about compensation at least 3 times in the entire interview process before we even get to the offer stage. We get to the offer stage. The hiring manager knows which candidate he wants to move forward with. I take that information up to the executive chain and get approval from finance and the chief people officer about the salary that we are going to offer said candidate. Because of the relationship that I have with the executive management team at the companies that I work for, they know Laura does not make bad job offers. I'm usually approved to make a salary offering at the tip top of the range, if not a few $1,000s over. Fast forward to this particular instance. I actually got approval to offer $5,000 over what the posted range was. I call the candidate, deliver the verbal offer. They're excited. They ask if I can send over some more information and they need to think about it. We have some exchanges. I answer more questions. We reach Friday. That's the deadline I told them that I need to know their answer for the position by. They email me that the offer that I gave them did not feel adequate, which was over the salary range that I had already previously discussed with them at least 3 times. I responded back, let them know that we did not have the flexibility to negotiate any higher, and that offer was our highest and best. I get on the phone with the hiring manager, I fill him in on what's going in, we start talking about strategy, we start talking about the candidate that is backup that I'm going to offer instead. He asked that I pull the offer. As this is all going down, this conversation with the hiring manager, the original candidate that I made the offer to, that I said that we didn't have room to negotiate, replies back and says that they are happy to accept the job offer. Simultaneously, my hiring manager is telling me to pull the offer for this candidate to go with the other candidate. Just another day in recruiting. This is happening at a frequency that I have never seen in my entire recruiting career. I am doing everything that I can to be transparent, to be there every step of the way, to reconfirm this information with candidates, and they're coming back asking for more. I am extremely patient. I get it. This is your livelihood. This is your money. This is the most that you want. But I have had hiring managers ask me to pull offers more often than I have in my entire career over this. Do with the story as you will.
Hey guys, homeless update. So I received a job offer yesterday. It was for a small tech company in within their first 2 years, and they're out of state. And they clearly did not know the laws in the state of California. The offer was significantly less than the $68,640 required to hire an exempt employee in the state of California. And given that it was a managerial role, it's a role that needs to be exempt because there's going to be a lot of after hours requirements associated with this particular role. When I brought it up that it was against the law to hire somebody on salary at the rate that they were offering, they converted it to an hourly. No payment for any after hours work that I might assume. And the hourly rate was about 74 cents less than what it would have been on their exempt offer. The worst offer I've ever seen in my life. And I'm gonna tell them no tomorrow morning. But it's really frustrating that this is how they're lowball. Like, it was less than my starting salary out of college. Like, can't even live off of it, kind of a salary. And it was reporting directly to basically one of their owners. So, not gonna blast out the company name. I'm gonna let them keep on doing the BS that they're doing. They'll eventually find somebody that will do it. But man, like, this job market is just the wackiest. And I'm really, really getting the notion, the feeling that salaries aren't even staying steady. They're going down. And I don't even know how that's possible for the types of roles that I've historically held and I'm applying for. So definitely been a rough couple of days. I've kind of been mulling it over since I received that yesterday afternoon. But I mean, it's just not realistic. And I think it's something that we really got to see fixed in this economy, because if you're going to hire someone out of state, cool, know the laws in the state that they live in, and especially if you're not willing to relocate them. But this is, again, just a wacky kind of blip on the radar for this story that just keeps on getting more and more interesting. I hope to have some more updates for you guys soon. Thanks.
I just got the first job offer that I have been able to get in 4 months of being unemployed. And let's keep in mind, I have 2+ years of experience in mental health. I have 8+ years of experience working professionally with children, and I have a bachelor's degree. The job offer was for 23.75 hours per week at $15 an hour. That should cover my rent and utilities, so just as long as I don't need money for food, gas, car repairs, medical expenses, household items like laundry detergent or dish soap, or deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, as long as I don't want to do anything fun with my friends, like go see a movie, as long as my dog doesn't get sick or injured or have any medical expenses, I should be totally fine. I should be totally fine. You guys are right. It is my fault that I'm poor because, like, I should be able to live on that.
Guys, oh my goodness. Applying for a job is a mother freaking job. But what's up with these companies offering $20 an hour to walk into an office and sit behind a cubicle? $20 an hour? $20. What am I supposed to do that? I have grown woman bills. Inflation. Everything's expensive. But they want to offer me $20 an hour. And I have a bachelor's degree. Come this December, I will have a master's degree. And they offer me $20 an hour. And this is insane. But the company, when I applied for them, they did not post their hourly wage, and I see why, because I wouldn't.
So boom, around 3 months ago, I was talking to this agency, right? I was trying to get a job. I was struggling, just graduated, and I was getting no hits, right? All of a sudden, bro, I come back from a festival, no money left in my account, right? Boom, I get a phone call. Guy was like, hey, listen, this guy just put in his 2 weeks. Company wants to fill him in as soon as possible. If you can come in tomorrow, the job is yours. When I first heard that, I thought this is way too good to be true. One, because the company was nearby, like I knew the area, and they paid well. So I was like, bro, this isn't a scam, right? But it just sounds too good to be true. No interview, no nothing. But my mom was like, listen, do not play no games. Take that job. I show up the next day, right? Literally, my life just took a whole 360, bro. One day I'm literally unemployed bum. All of a sudden, I have a job, right? I show up the next day, walk in, bro. It's a nice corporate building, whatever, right? Go in. The guy that's supposed to train me, bro's young. He's like around my age, right? I shake his hand. I'm like, yo, what's going on? He said he put in his 2 weeks a week ago. He's only training me for 1 week. Now, at first, I was like, no way. I knew there was a catch. Like, I knew this was just too good to be true. But at the same time, this job market right now is looking very unusual. So I told myself, you know what? Put that to the side. Lock in, right? They gave me a notepad and a pen. They said, take notes. I said, bet. Boom. For the next week, I'm shadowing this guy every single day, taking notes. I don't even understand what I'm taking notes on, bro. This was literally, it was insane. Eventually, a week goes by, right? And my boy's gone. It's his last day. And I was very confused because I was like, bro, like I was like, am I going to just move into his office? Like, what's going on? But I literally show up. They said, sit down in his office. This is all yours. They gave me a login and they said, get to work. Crazy turn of events, right? Like this was moving fast. This was moving crazy, right? Now we are a small department, right? But, I was kind of relying on the people around me. I was like, you know what? Let me just ask questions. Like, I kind of assumed, that they would still, like, train me a little bit, right? Whatever. I may do with the situation, right? I'm asking questions. I'm getting things done. I'm very scared, bro. I'm dealing with all this money. I'm seeing checks for amounts that I've never seen before. It's crazy, right? And then a month in, bro, the person that I was kind of relying on, the person that I was, kind of leaning on, she gets sick. Now, sick with what, you may ask? She contracts pneumonia. Now, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know. I made a video about this. I didn't even know pneumonia was a thing. I thought pneumonia was like quicksand. I didn't know it was this serious, right? This woman starts missing 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Eventually, she's gone for almost 3 weeks, bro. So I'm locked in by myself throughout this whole time. Throughout this time, bro, I'm working with the boss like this every single day. Like, it's literally crazy. I'm stressed. This woman was literally my trainer, bro. I was relying on this woman. She's gone, right? I'm like, whatever. Okay, I kind of have to, you know what? Lock in again, bro. Lock in again, right? She comes back, right? And then she gets sick again. She's like out. She's in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm trying to make the best of the situation, but I still don't really know. Like, bro, every day is hectic at this point. Every day is something new. Then all of a sudden, one day she comes in and she was like, you know what? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put in my 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, like, homegirl was not recovering. Pneumonia was hitting her with the 1-2. Next week, bro, my boss calls me into the office and he's like, listen, this is what we want to do. We want someone else to fill in this woman's position, and we want you to fill in and get promoted and take over this guy's position. When he told me that, I was like, bro, I've been here, I think, 2 months now, bro, 2-3 months. This is literally a crazy turn of events, bro. I literally have only been trained for 1 week at this point.
I just saw a video of somebody saying that these kids will never know how easy it used to be to get a job. I still consider myself a job hopper. I barely just sat down because of the job market. I was like, actually, I can't leave anymore because it took too long to get this one. But before this, I was here, I was there, I was everywhere. As soon as something upset me, I was gone. Like, I'm not even kidding. First job in high school, I worked at the freaking family fun center. I worked for the summer. I quit. I like these kids as bad as fuck. I'm not doing this all year. Fuck. My second job was after my freshman year in college. I applied to Forever 21, got the job, showed up to the orientation. Nobody was there. I left, never came back again. Why was nobody there? Y'all unorganized. I'm not doing this. My third job was in my college gym. They had me picking up the towels people use to wipe their sweat off. I said, nah, I'm not doing this. I didn't last more than a month. My next job was at Chase and they wanted me to be a traveling teller. Oh, no. I quit immediately. What? Then I had a holiday job selling Sony TVs at Best Buy and then they wanted me to stay. No, this is a holiday job. I'm leaving. I worked at a chocolate shop. I worked at a men's clothing store. I worked at like a fitness clothing store for women called Lole. It was cute. Then I graduated college and I got my first like full-time job. I stayed there for a few months, went to Egypt one summer, came back and quit. I quit. Then by the fall, I had another job, but that was getting a little too involved in my life, just a little too serious, so I quit. I started a trucking company with my family for a little bit. Didn't last long, but it was quite the experience being a Black woman and trucking. And then I got a job at Cartier and I was like, oh, this is gonna be cute. They had me cleaning dishes, cleaning watches. I said, no. It's not for me. I'm not a servant. I worked at a PR agency. Then I worked at the Forum in Inglewood. There's some videos about that because the manager got a little weird. She got a little weird. It was after quitting the Forum job that I realized, oh, this is hard. I did background for a couple months. It was not easy. And then I got the job I have now. And I am sitting my ass still.
Bro, I can't be the only one to think it's impossible to get a job right now. Like, I don't know how it was back then, but it's fucking impossible to get a job right now. Like, you would apply on Indeed, people be like, it's easy to find a job. It's easy to find a job, motherfucker. You try. Quit your job and see if you can find another job, because you can't. Like, bro, the comp on Indeed is terrifying, bro. You apply for a bagger at, like, some random gas station, bro. You be having fucking 10,000 different applicants, bro. They're picking you through you're like a needle in a haystack, bro. You're not getting picked, bro. I promise you're not getting picked. And people at jobs like Walmart, bro, I be calling up Walmart. I be like, y'all hiring? They be like, nah, bro. Call next year. I'm looking at the site right now. I know y'all hiring, bro. Why are you gatekeeping me, bro? Like, let me get money too, bro. Like, y'all not letting nobody in there? I see you are.
I recently turned down a job offer from one of the largest hedge funds on the market. They were offering me the highest salary that I've ever received in my entire career. I turned down the job for 3 different reasons. But before I get to that, let me explain the progression of how I ended up here. A lot of recruiters normally reach out to me via LinkedIn. They hop into my inbox and they're like, hey, are you looking? And normally I'm like, no. But before I even decide if it's a no, the first question I ask is, what's the compensation? They give me a range, and if the range is suitable for me, then I'll continue. I went through 5 rounds of interviews, and then the final round, I met with the hiring manager again, but this time I met her at a bar in Manhattan, over drinks, eating snacks, just getting to know each other, but more so in a relaxed environment. We ended up speaking for 2 hours, so I immediately knew I was gonna get a job offer. The first red flag and the first thing that made me decide that this may not be the right position for me was they wanted me in the office 5 days a week. I currently have a hybrid job, so I'm in the office 3 days a week. So for me to go from 3 days to 5 days, that would have been a huge jump for me, like a cultural shift, a lifestyle shift, and I wasn't ready for that. But I was willing to overlook it because of the compensation. The second thing that was also a red flag, but I also ignored because of the money, when I first spoke to one of the hiring manager or the global head, I asked him what were some of the things that he wants the team to work on in the coming year. And something he shared with me is that each person is actually doing the workload of 4 a person and a half, which means they're understaffed. And one thing that he would like to achieve is making sure that his staff can go on vacation and not have to work while on vacation. That was a huge red flag for me, because that means your staff is so understaffed, they're overworked, and they can't even go on vacation and enjoy time out of the office. And then to kind of close the deal, he said, you know, he's always available to work because he's always on call, but he doesn't expect that of his team. Managers like that, that's a red flag. Although you're saying you don't expect it from your team, the fact that you do that consistently means that there is an unwritten rule that you are expected to work at any point in time because your global head is also working. That's how these managers work. And I am not okay with that. But once again, I overlooked it because of the salary. The third thing I overlooked was, I asked during the interview, so what's the management culture? And he was like, one of the feedback that he receives is that he doesn't really manage. Everyone kind of have their heads down, doing their work, and it kind of means like he's not looking up to provide support for his staff. And I was like, if that's the culture that he's enabling, that means from top down, you will not have support, and you're going to be in there either sinking or swimming. And I don't like management teams that do not provide adequate support, because that is setting you up for potential failure. But once again, I overlooked it because of the compensation. The final straw is when the HR representative came to me to negotiate the compensation that was previously agreed upon and then lowballed. I went back and said, that was not the salary or compensation that we discussed. However, I'm happy to move forward with the amount, the compensation that we agreed on. Her exact response was, I think there was a misunderstanding. I was only giving those numbers as an example, not as the actual number that you would receive. And right then and there, I was like, if it's this difficult to negotiate my salary and you want to be dishonest and misleading, there's absolutely no way I'm working for this company, because this is the point in time when you should actually do everything for me to even sign the dotted line. And there's absolutely no way I'm going to ignore all those other red flags, and then at the very end, you play with me. And that's when I responded with I will no longer be moving forward with you guys. And that's how come I turned down an extremely high paying job, because I did not appreciate the professionalism or the culture. That entire experience taught me a few things that I'm so proud of myself for, that I am no longer at the point in my career where money will make me move. My integrity is worth so much more, and my work-life balance actually means a lot to me. I don't just say it because it's meaningless. Work-life balance is my #1 priority at this point in my career, because my health is very important and my mental health is also very, very important. Also, don't let these companies play with you, because one hedge fund that's willing to offer me that much money guarantees you that I will be offered that and more at another company.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.